Hey ladies and gents, what's up and welcome back to the channel. So I somehow got my hands on the EAFC 26 closed beta. Shh, EA, please don't ban me. Now I can't actually show you any gameplay, NDA and all that, but I can talk about my first impressions after spending some solid hours on both the authentic and competitive gameplay modes. This is not a review, it's just my first initial impressions. So if you want to hear the raw, unfiltered thoughts of someone who's played way too much FIFA, eFootball, and EAFC over the years, then stick around because I've got a lot to say. Let's dive right in. So the authentic mode is the slower paced, more realistic experience. EA's aiming for that broadcast style football sim feel here, and honestly, the biggest change, the players feel alive this year. I'm not even exaggerating. No more statues just standing around. Players seem to move much more naturally, and it's just more engaging. The whole off the ball motion, little stutters, checking runs. It looks and feels like a real football match when you zoom out to the broadcast cam. And here's what I love, especially about the authentic gameplay. The players feel weighty. You can see the foot planting, the shifting of momentum. Passing is crisp, but not too robotic. Expect straight passes, especially under pressure. The shots felt really satisfying. I was actually using precision controls, or the precision shooting, and it just added a proper skill gap that I was looking for. The balance between 1-versus-1 dribbling and defending felt spot on too. You're not just glued to the attacker or defender anymore. Some of the things that need work though, the heading is still not quite right. Crosses have less power than the headers sometimes, and that just feels and looks a little bit weird. But it has much improved. There are instances where I think, oh, the header looks just right in terms of the power that's being applied. So it's not as frequent as it was in the past. You know, I haven't had any like bullet headers from outside the penalty box going just yet. So, but I've only played this for a few hours, so I can't really comment much further. Players can feel a little bit sluggish when dribbling or sprinting, like they're dragging through mud sometimes on the authentic mode, and that's to be expected because sometimes you have to sacrifice that speed, so it does feel like it's a little bit sluggy at times. But I did see one instance of chaotic pinball physics during a player collision, but that was just on the one occasion. Overall, way better than EAFC 25's gameplay. I wasn't on the edge of my seat with this mode or this gameplay mode, but I did enjoy it, and that's saying a lot. I did really like the sort of simulation and realistic feel to the game. I just felt like it covered a lot of bases and was actually very impressed and surprised. Now I want to talk to you about the competitive side of things, the competitive gameplay mode. Now this one is for the fast-fingered FIFA veterans or EAFC veterans now. The competitive mode is all about pace, reflexes, and that sort of sweaty weekendy energy. The first impressions, the passing was insane. We're talking 20-yard rockets in 0.5 seconds. It was like literally flying around so fast. And it felt so fast, I was just like, I'm going to just rage quit and go back to authentic mode because it just seemed ridiculous. But as I gave it time, it started to click with me. And things I ended up loving was the dribbling at speed, felt buttery smooth. Wrong footing defenders was just like, it was just perfect, absolutely perfect. The skill moves were sharp and fluid, finally effective against the AI, and the manual through balls I was using with right bumper was a massive W. That is something I really miss from eFootball. The fact that you can just hold a button and then start applying manual controls. And I was doing that with the through ball, and it just feels so good in EAFC 26. It just adds control and creativity. The goalkeepers have actually really impressed me in this year's edition. They made some great saves, but also some believable mistakes, which gives them that sort of human feeling. And the crazy part, even though it's more arcadey, I think I actually had more fun here than in the authentic mode. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect that, to be honest. I thought I was going to be like fall in love with the authentic mode, but once you adapt to its fast pace, high reward football, and with the career mode that I was playing it on, it's actually kind of addictive. So, here's my take. If this version of EAFC 26 launches as is, then Konami and eFootball should be worried. The gameplay feels like a legit leap forward, especially in terms of movement, fluidity, and overall polish, and for the first time in years, I'm actually excited to play an EA football game again. This was going to be the first year I didn't pre-order, but after this closed beta, yes, I'm pre-ordering. It's risky, maybe, but for me, it's an £80 chance worth taking, because I say it's a risk because we know that the patches will come. We know the gameplay will change. So I'm praying that EA don't tinker with the gameplay too much, because in all honesty, I think the player base will actually really enjoy this. The competitive players are going to enjoy the competitive mode, which harks back to like FIFA 18, 19, I would say, in terms of the fluidity and speed. And those that want a realistic and authentic experience, this is the most realistic EA game we've seen to date. Because of the foot planting, because of the weight of the players, it just felt perfect. Anyway, that is it for my first impressions. No footage, no fluff, just my honest gameplay thoughts. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts or any questions you have below, and make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already, because when the full game drops, you know I'm going to be covering it in detail. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.